development of that song?
So you and your friends were...
I'm recording it now.
Well, how do you like my version? That was the last verse was the verse I wrote for Frankie Valli.
Is that right, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. I wrote that last verse for Frankie Valli. He didn't like the second verse, so I had to write him another verse.
Oh, and he's still around, isn't he?
Yeah.
Still performing?
Oh, they did that Broadway show, the Jersey Boys.
Oh, was he in that?
Yeah, that's the story of Frankie Valli, the Jersey Boys.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Well,
we haven't had a chance to see that show yet.
Nice. Very, very, very good. Very good.
Tony, can you tell the story behind it?
Behind?
Yeah.
Behind the song.
The story behind the song?
Yeah.
I lived on a street that one day I walked out of grammar school and there was a black and white sign that said one way. So, used the name Renee because the Beatles had a big hit with Michelle. I said, well, if the Beatles can write about a French girl named Michelle, I can write about a French girl named Renee. And a few years later, I found out that Renee is also a male name.
Oh.
And so is Michelle, by the way.
That's right.
And I used to play handball in the courts right next door to us in the schoolyard. And on it was Tony Loves Tony. It was on there for years. So every time I walked by that heart, it reminded me of when I was a young kid, first recognizing that there was something like women in the world. And it just brought back that moment. Yeah. So that's a little bit of the story. And we wrote the song in the Bronx. Mike at the piano, my friend Bob Khalili, and sitting with me, Ray Alley was there, and a number of other young kids that I used to hang out with me, and they were there. It was amazing, that it happened like that. And then Mike ran into the group, the Left Bank, and he called me up one day. He says, I know you were going to record the song, but I got these guys who sing really well, and I want to record it with the group. I said, sure, go right ahead. Because in my head I said, gee, there's the Beatles, the Dave Clark Five, the Rolling Stones. Everybody was, the great black groups that was singing.
Sure.
At that time, I said, everybody's listening to group music. So better than being the solo artist, I said, yeah, let the group do it. Thank you, Lord. That was a good decision, wouldn't you say, right? And my father had the studio, and they recorded it, and John Abbott did the arrangement, which Mike and I had discussed about having something classical in feeling with the song. We had discussed that together. And he followed through with the arrangement. I recorded it, and now the rest is history.
And then what about the second time around? Because it hit the charts twice.
Oh, that's interesting. The Four Tops, Berry Gordy, and the Four Tops were having a conversation in the car. And one of the Four Tops said, listen, we can make Walk Away Renee a hit. And Berry Gordy said, I bet you can't. He says, well, let us record it. And they put out an album of cover songs. That's the Four Tops. And the lead singer did a great job on all of those songs. But the radio station in New York picked up Walk Away Renee to play over and over again. And a number of other cities that were playing the black station music were playing Walk Away Renee. So Motown didn't want to pay the full royalty. So they called the publisher up and they said, listen, we'll release the song with the Four Tops if we don't have to pay the full royalty. And they called me up and said, well, the Four Tops want to do the Walk Away Renee. They want to release it as a song, as a single. And of course, the Four Tops.
Sure,
don't be ridiculous. I don't care if they pay me nothing. Let them sing it, man. They're singing my song. So I agreed. And I remember that phone call to this day. I said, of course. Who cares? It's not about money. It's about success. It doesn't have to have
Tony, that's always you.
And
what about money?
And what was the sidewalks made of?
Oh, the sidewalks in New York City, you lived on a block, not on a street. New York City, it's blocks and lots. So we use the word blocks. When Frankie Valli recorded the song, he used the word street.
He was from suburbia.
He didn't like it. He comes from Jersey. It was a street he lived on, not a block. And the the block that I lived on had flagstones, you know, the black slate stuff.
Sure.
That wasn't very common in
No.
the city.
That's right.
And so when you came on my block, there would be cement on the one street. You cross over, and there were these flagstones.
I'm trying
So
to
it was always
remember, Tony,
memorable.
what was the name of the street you lived on?
Hull Avenue,
Hull Avenue, right, Hull.
good old Hull Avenue.
Yeah, on the left-hand side, when you made a left-hand
Yeah,
turn.
yeah. If you were walking south,
Is that
it was on the
house still
left-hand
there?
side. The house is still there, sure. Connected homes, typical of the Bronx.
Yeah, but it's
And,
still there.
Yeah, the schoolyard. They took
schoolyard's
down
still
the
there?
they took down the handball court.
Oh,
The garners, your name and mine, upon a wall, and a heart upon a wall.
oh,
It's gone. Well, but life goes on.
yeah,
And
that's
it's amazing. In the joyful noise, when I heard about that being in that movie, I just blown away. And I'd love to say thank you to all of those people who made it possible for it to be in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to look it up. I want to write them a letter.
Yeah, why not?
I have 46 years, and somebody thought the song was that good. Why not say thanks?
Yeah.
All right, it makes sense.
Oh, absolutely, right? And you'll
Yeah,
have to
I
ask
wanna-
them
I
the
want to
story
do that.
behind
Listen,
how
if,
they
you,
picked
if
that
they
song.
invite you to a party, the opening or something, you know, say,
No,
there's a few
I don't
people
expect
wanna-
that. I would just like to say thank you. You know, it was a great deal.
Well, it's nice to be remembered because of
Yeah.
all the songs, like you
Yes, why they think that,
said. Yeah.
they chose that song.
Oh, I know
The
why.
only
Yeah, the angels were knocking on those guys' heads. Yeah. What about Walk Away Renee? What about Walk Away Renee? It wasn't me.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, what I
It still played a lot on the
The
radio.
only thing is, of course, this whole thing. Yeah. But I mean, it's thank goodness it happened to you. If it was to somebody else,
Well, it happened to me and
they
Mike,
would have.
Bob. We were all
No,
apart,
if it happened to someone else, they would be furious that they didn't get the full royalties and all of that.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
But life isn't about money. It's about
No, but I'm
enjoyment,
saying that's why I
success.
said.
How
if
about
it was-
sharing?
Yeah, but if that was with somebody else, they would not take it the way you do. So in one sense, you know, it's good that it was you. Because, as you know, a lot of people are very, very bitter
Selfish.
when that happens to them, because there are many other people who's
Yeah, but I could say, we gave away $1 million.
right.
Yeah. No, so what's the name of the movie again that we have to see?
Joy-
Joyful Noise.
Joyful Noise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where...
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. Matter of fact, I thought Queen Latifah did a speech to her daughter. It was wonderful, wonderful. It was almost Shakespearean.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
That's
It
good.
was, it was-
Well, why don't you guys go in there?
Are you finished with this recording?
Yes.
Are you sure?